You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Good Monday, everyone. This is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing the best of New York Giants sports talking. Tim, feel like I haven't done a video in a week, and I don't think I have in reference to a Giant video because we've been doing some Knicks stuff because we, of course, you had the draft. You have NBA free agency coming up, all that fun stuff. And you know what? I'll do something Giant related, you know, when the mood strikes me or before we get some interesting information to talk about. And one of the things I want to talk about, though, is Kayvon Thibodeaux and his health. Evidently, they have released the mystery injury. What's behind door number one, Gene? It's a mystery Kayvon Thibodeaux injury. It's a tweaked hip. They're basically saying he should be fine, that it's just a minor injury, it's a minor setback, and he should be ready for the start of training camp. Of course, the Giants have had a plethora of injuries the last, couple of years. So you have to figure, you know what? Err on the side of caution. To err is human, to forgive is divine. But, you know, with all the injuries the Giants have had, the red shirt brigade has grown, and I'm fine with them. You know, missing the OTAs, I'm fine with them missing the mandatory minicamp. I'll be more upset if these things happen once the training camp starts, but you have to wait and see. And you got to think back to a month ago when Brian Daboll was playing a little coy about the injuries. He says, I think the injured players are all in different spots. Knock on wood. Hopefully they'll be good to go by training camp. Hopefully, but again, I'm not going to promise anything. He may or may not be ready today. That was for Kayvon in reference to about a month ago. I'm not expecting him to be out of the red jersey today, but we'll have to see how the week goes. And of course, basically, he was just being a little coy about it. Because you know what? It's an injury update. It's your guy. It's one of your first round picks. It's one of your 2 first round picks. So you want to be optimistic. I don't think there's going to be an issue. You have to remember that Kayvon is going to be playing a pivotal role. Can't talk today in Wink's system. You know, he's gonna have to be that guy sandwiched in between, you know, Quincy and Smith and Ward, getting some first team reps with those Zio Jalari. You know, I project Kayvon to be the starting outside linebacker by the end of training camp, barring injuries, I should say. But you know what? You have to be with the Giants, and you have to just sit there and say, you know what? It is what it is. It's early. Let's wait and see what happens when August rolls around, and that is when it's time to panic. I wish I knew where that button was where it says, now it is time to panic. And I'm vamping so I can find it.
My professional opinion that now is the time to panic.
There we go. There's the time to panic. And I'm just joking. It's not the time to panic. It's not. I loved it the other day because I see they had an article about, I think it was on Giants Wire. I think it was. I don't remember. About Saquon Barkley. Actually, it was on Saquon Barkley. I think I initially saw it on Saquon Barkley's Twitter page. Our Instagram page, I believe it was, where he was shredded. This is big news. The Bark is shredded. He's ready for the season because he's running with his helmet on, no shirt on, and the shorts. Oh, dear Lord. Have we not learned that adding extra weight as a quarterback 2 years in a row does not make you a better player? Have we not learned, because I remember a couple of years back when Saquon was shredded, that it doesn't stop you from having a knee injury, which can occur at any time? Have we not learned these things? Have we not learned that sometimes dumb luck just plays within your career? It's great that if he feels good, he said, my body feels good, my body feels strong, feel like I got my strength back, feel like I got my speed back, feel like I can trust my knee again. Trust yourself to make the plays and not think about it. That usually occurs after year 2 of an ACL injury. I talked about this. Anyone who's had an ACL injury, had 2, that you know you don't come back to full strength until the second year. Because not only does your body need to heal, you need to heal mentally. Your mind needs to be in a good spot. You have to heal. So, you know what? If he feels better about being shredded and that's going to give him the confidence to come back, I don't foresee that giving him an extra edge. I don't foresee him being that. I don't foresee that being his spinach to Popeye. Popeye the Sailor, man. I don't see that. But you know what? If it makes him feel better, good. I'm happy for him. But it's not, I just love the fans that post it everywhere. It's like, it's not going to make him a better player. It may make him a better player mentally, but I don't think it's going to transition. What's going to happen is he's going to have to get on the field. He's going to have to attack the line. He's got to stop dancing. He's got to run north-south. And he's got to do what he did that first year under Shermer when Shermer pulled him off to the side and said, stop the dance and attack the line. That's what he's going to have to do. not worry about how shredded he is. And I'm not making fun of Saquon because, everyone knows I'm a huge Saquon Barkley fan. But you know what? It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. You had Eli Manning come out and said that the deck has been stacked against Daniel Jones, who admits that losing his weighs on him heavily. Listen, you got it. With Daniel Jones, it's this. Yeah, you're in New York. I don't think the deck was stacked against Daniel Jones. I really don't. You cannot tell me there has not been a quarterback who's gone into bad situations before. That this is the first time this has ever happened. We make so many excuses for this kid that it's unbelievable. I've never, in the history of watching the Giants since 1976, seen an organization make so many excuses about why this kid fails. He's a kid from Duke. He's a kid that no one had projected in the top 40 in his draft. It's not his fault that he was taken 6 overall. If he was taken in the 2nd or the 3rd round, that's fine. I remember the ill-fated Dave Brown. Most people forget Dave Brown had a winning season his first year starting. Didn't make the playoffs in the Dan Reeves, but he had a winning season. Daniel Jones had 3 good games his rookie season and maybe a sprinkling here and there. You could say all the things that you want to say about it. You could say, and I love it because these are the same people who are defending Daniel Jones that when you change the name to, and I find it funny that Eli Manning is the one defending him as well. If you change that name and put it to Eli Manning, well, all we had to do is hear about how Eli Manning's skills were declining. Eli Manning towards the end of his career, didn't have an offensive line. Outside of OBJ, didn't have a lot of weapons. At one point, at New Orleans, Darkwa as his starting running back. But you know what? Those excuses went out the window because Eli was old and it was time to get rid of him. Maybe it's just time to get rid of Daniel Jones. Giants might think so. They've declined to pick up the 5th-year option, of course. The fans might think so because they already have him drafting a quarterback next year. That's how much confidence people have in this kid. That the team didn't pick up the option. You got a large segment of the fan base going out there and projecting him not to be on this roster next year because they're going to draft a quarterback. You have all the prognosticators basically doing the same thing. But we have to sit there and say, well, it's been tough for Daniel Jones. It's New York. That's what it is. It's New York. Put on your big boy pants.
Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you.
What?
You wake up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got big boy pants on.
It's time for the big boy pants, Daniel. You're saying all the right things. Now perform on the field. And I've said this before. I will be the first person that will say I was wrong about Daniel Jones if he plays well. I've said that before. I've given him credit before and gotten blasted for giving him credit. Gotten reamed for giving him credit. Where people are like, well, now you're a Daniel Jones lover. Now you're coming up. No, if you play well, I'm going to say it. If you play poorly, I'm going to say it as well. It's called life. You have your good days. You have your bad days. And Daniel Jones has had a lot more bad days than he has good days. Got a lot of fun Knicks stuff coming up. Got a lot of fun Giant stuff coming up as well. Hopefully you can tune in. We'll do a live stream, I think, pretty much this week. And I also have some OG member-only videos, which I'm currently working on, which will be released really soon. And again, this is Tim with the Online Big Blue, bringing the best in New York Giant sports talk entertainment. And as always, if you could like, you can subscribe. If you ring that bell, you're going to mean that'd be awesome.